Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 9, and this episode is called After, and, yeah. I don't know what to really say about this episode, but I will say a couple of things. So this episode we get to see life after the prison, but only with a few characters. Only 3. We get to see a little bit of Michonne here, and mostly Rick and really honestly mostly Carl. So in this episode, Carl thinks he's macho. He's like, I could kill that person, I could kill this person, I'd kill this person walking backwards, I could kill someone without bullets. That's pretty much Carl. This whole episode was being a douchebag, pretty much. He was being a dick. He really was. He called his father an asshole. He said his father was good for nothing. He was really bad this episode. Rick was pretty much unconscious on the couch throughout this whole entire episode. He's still very tired from the whole war thing, which was understandable. A lot of people thought he was like gonna die this episode. I thought he was going to die this episode, but I'm like, it's The Walking Dead, he's the main character, he's not going to die by sleeping on a couch. Then we have the Michonne part where we actually get to see a lot of her past. She did have a son. We get to see, I think, her brother and her husband slash, I guess, boyfriend. I don't know if it's actually her husband or not. We get to see a little bit of her past and her go through her own emotions, which you would thought she would have gone through a long time ago, but she's going through them now. I did not like this episode. I didn't. It's hard to say that. This was a return episode. I really want to enjoy it. We waited a while for this episode to come. But most of this episode was Carl. And I've never really liked the character. And I was going on Twitter, so I felt like I wasn't the only one hating on Carl. I don't know, I just felt like everything he did was annoying, and there was this one scene where one of the werewolves comes, he's trying to bite Carl, and I just kept rooting. Usually you feel that pit in your stomach when the zombies come and the walkers come. You're like, no, I don't want Maggie to die, I don't want Glenn to die, but when that walker came out, I want Carl to die. Again, he was just really being horrible to his father. I've never liked the character because he always thinks he's better than everyone else. He thinks he's such a man when he's like 12 years old, and again, he's a horrible person. He's a horrible character. So honestly, you understand why he's doing these things, because he's a child growing up in this apocalypse. His father's not the best, but I feel like there's no redeeming quality to him. He's like the Andrea now, or the Andrea now. He feels like that annoying character. I want a redeeming character. It's like, I totally understand why you're doing that, and there's that one likability about you, but Carl doesn't have that likability to hold a whole episode, especially with a show that has an ensemble cast with so many characters to care about. So it's really, really upsetting to see this return episode be Carl. I can understand this if you had a lot of episodes, you're like, alright, you want a Carl episode? Have it. But a return episode, this was very disappointing to have this. Very upset. A lot of things he said, I was just rolling my eyes the whole episode, and I just got annoyed with him, and this was most of the episode. I liked some moments. I'll say the moments I did like with Carl, was, I guess, the father in some moment in the end where he's like, I really couldn't do everything. At least he had that revelation, but he wasn't likable, because I never liked the character. He was either running away, trying to do something else. I just don't like Carl, and this episode didn't redeem him. He made it worse. And Rick wasn't really in the episode, so I can't really say much about him. Everyone else wasn't in this episode. It seems like we're going to see more of them in the next episode, which honestly I'm very excited for, because like my favorite characters are Glenn, Maggie, Daryl. Those are my favorite characters. Like, I like Rick for the leader, but he's not one of my favorites. I actually do like Michonne a lot, but she wasn't really in this episode that much. But the parts that she did have, I did like. Were they necessary? Yeah, I think they were necessary to have flashbacks. I think they could have structured a better episode with her flashbacks and had maybe a lot of people's flashbacks. That could honestly be a really good episode where we see, oh, here's Carl and Lori, and here is Daryl in the past. So if you want to get everyone's past, I think they should have done one episode about it instead of this little tidbit with Michonne. But Lisa made this episode a little redeemable with Michonne. And I liked seeing that family aspect in the end. It's like Michonne finds Rick and just like, oh my god, this is my family. And that's something I always did like about The Walking Dead, is that they are all family when they truly aren't blood related, but they truly are family because of the apocalypse and them being together and really helping each other. So I did like that. But that's really it. I didn't really like this episode, though. I was pretty annoyed with it. But next episode does look better. But I was annoyed with this one. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if everyone agrees on that, but I'm not a big Carl fan, and he wasn't redeemable here, and there was only small moments that I really enjoyed with this episode. But of course I'll have another review for The Walking Dead next week, and I'm actually doing a collab review next week with Agree to Disagree. I was supposed to do it this week, but I felt a little under the weather, so I'm going to be doing it next week with them. So I should have my review up next week also, just like maybe an hour later, but it will be up, so don't worry, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Of course I'll have the review next week. Also check out Agree to Disagree, because I'll have a review next week with them also. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and The Right Situations, and don't forget to follow my Facebook, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.